Okay, we're going to call today's Housing, Urban Development, and Zoning Committee meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Present.
Alderwoman Keys.
Present.
Vice Chair Saunier.
Present.
Alderman Browning.
Present.
Alderman Aldridge.
Present.
Chair Clark Hubbard.
Here.
Alderman Cone. We have 6 present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. I do want to publicly note that Alderman Cone has been waiting. We've been dealing with some internet challenges, connectivity challenges, and so he was trying to participate virtually, but we had to go ahead and move forward with this other opportunity to outsource the internet where we couldn't engage him, so he was trying to be here. So thank you, Alderman Cone, for your patience, and thank you for everyone that's here for your patience. I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, February 11th, Tuesday, June 3rd, and Monday, July 7th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by Vice Chair Saunier and seconded by Alderwoman Keys that we approve the minutes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Vice Chair Saunier.
Aye.
Alderman Browning.
Aye.
Alderman Aldridge.
Aye.
Chair Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderman Cone. We have 6 aye votes.
All right, with that, we've successfully approved the minutes. We'll move down in the agenda. Alderman Aldridge, you are recognized on Board Bill 39.
First time at the new podium we got from the BOA. Thank you, Madam Clerk and members of the HUD's committee. Today, I present to you Board Bill 39. I will have a committee sub, but I'm just going to briefly talk about the original bill of what Board Bill 39 was. So, Madam Clerk, could you actually read the summary of Board Bill 39?
Board Bill 39, introduced by Alderman Rasheen Aldridge. This bill seeks to approve a Chapter 99 redevelopment plan and blighting study for the 200 South 4th Street redevelopment area. The proposed bill also allows for use of eminent domain within the area for all properties. This board bill will allow for up to a 20-year abatement at 90%.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So originally, Board Bill 39 was to do a Chapter 99, which would allow eminent domain and start the demo process, as well as a tax incentive of 20 years at 90% for the Millennium Hotel. As we know, the Millennium Hotel for a while has been sitting vacant since they have closed. And since it has been sitting vacant, it has truly become an eyesore to the downtown area. This building has also not just become an eyesore, but it also has become problematic for the people that have also entered the building unwillingly. This building has a lot of mold, asbestos in it, as well as it just is not a safe place currently for it to be in this location. Just actually last week, I think one of our newscasters or publications posted a photo of somebody actually sitting on top of the Millennium Hotel, which again is not the vision that we want to bring to the downtown area. So I will be introducing a committee sub in front of us. There is some really amazing plans for the Millennium Hotel. I'm honored to be working with Alderwoman Jamie Cox Antweet. This is her ward that it sits in. At the time of the introduction, it was vacant, but I've been working hand in hand with her. We also share downtown to make sure that we can try to revitalize downtown to move our city forward, as well as Cordish and the Arch Foundation that has come to the table after many years to bring, I think, more momentum that's coming to downtown, but the momentum that is needed to finally not only demolish this project, but move forward with a project that I think is going to serve great values. I continue to say downtown, but serve great values to the city of St. Louis as a whole. With that, Madam Chairwoman, I would like to introduce or adopt the committee's substitute to Board Bill 31 or 39.
I move to adopt committee substitute 1 for Board Bill 39.
Second.
It was moved by Alderwoman Schweitzer and seconded by Alderwoman Keys, so we adopt committee substitute for Board Bill 39. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Vice Chair Sonier. Aye. Alderman Browning.
Aye.
Alderman Aldridge.
Aye.
Chair Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
We have 6 aye votes.
Right, with that, we successfully adopted, and we can move forward on Board Bill 39 committee sub.
Thank you. So Board Bill 39 committee sub is, what we're doing is we're actually taking out the incentive part that the city was offering for the Millennium Hotel. We're taking out the 20 years at 90%, and we're keeping the ability to keep this blight and allow for the eminent domain process. Originally, when I talked to Cordish and the Arts Foundation, the goal was always start the process so that we can start to demo this building. This demo is going to take some time. This demo has to be started from top down. We can't just blow it up because it's very close to the highway. There's, again, a lot of contamination, a lot of asbestos, a lot of remediation that's going to happen. So right now, the developer at Cordish and the Arch Foundation has agreed at the moment to not go forward any incentives at the moment. There may be the opportunity to go after them in the future, but I think the urgent need right now, as we want to continue to show the momentum of what's going on with the Millennium, is to start with this demolition process, which I believe would probably take just alone about 1.5 years, if not 2 years. So again, the committee sub allows just for the Chapter 999 and the blight study so that it could allow for the eminent domain process of the Millennium Hotel. And Madam Clerk, I do have 3 expert speakers here with me today. I have Mr. Zach from SLDC, Mr. Ryan from the Arch Foundation, as well as Mr. Zed from Cordish to be able to speak, if they can come as my expert testimony or speakers. And I'm going to start with Mr. Zach.
Good morning, everyone. Zach Wilson from SLDC. Since we took out the tax abatement piece of this redevelopment plan, the key pieces you'll find in the redevelopment plan is page 16, what calls out for the demo of the building. Page 21 is a very robust urban design standards for the location. It's about 30 pages of urban design standards that was passed by the Planning Commission and LCRA boards. And starting on page A1 is the blighting study, showing the current conditions of the property. Be happy to answer any questions.
All right, we'll start with the committee for questions first. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You mentioned many pages with where things we could find them. So where is that? I don't have any presentations in front of us.
It's part of the board bill.
The original one, not the committee sub. Okay.
Yeah, and
You need to
then
make sure it's in the committee sub as well, because the committee sub just has 8 pages.
Okay.
So will you go back and reference the different pages that we should find this information?
there's a redevelopment plan mentioned in the board bill that's attached to the original board bill. It should be attached to the committee substitute also.
It's just not,
Okay.
but I agree. Yes. Okay, so what pages did you say I should look at, Zach?
Page 16 at the bottom calls for the demo of the building. Page 21 starts the urban design standards. Goes on for about 20 to 30 pages. Probably the most robust urban design standards we've passed in the last 10, 15 years. Because we see this as a key gateway parcel for the downtown.
Yeah, this is not your fault at all, but our internet is so bad that none of these pages are loading.
Okay.
So just if you could do me a favor and just speak to some of those things, because
Okay.
we can't look at them at the
It
moment.
speaks on the height of the requirements for the building, the density, the types of use, type of architecture. That shows plenty of pictures, you'll eventually see, and as they download, of other cities, what we're kind of requiring or envisioning for that location, because we see this as a structure that'll be here 50, 100, 150 years, and they'll be part of the skyline for the city. Types of uses we would like to see. We'd like to see a mixed-use type of proposal at this location. And the other key is the blighting study on A1, showing the current conditions, showing that, and since this document has been produced, the building has been condemned, so.
Thank you. And is that, Mr. Wilson, how long have you been working?
Several years.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can imagine it's especially moving, I guess, for you in your career to be here now, knowing this has been a project that has been targeted and identified for so many years in the city as a priority.
Yeah, the initial board bill, redevelopment plan, it also keeps the eminent domain language in the board bill too.
It keeps it what? I'm sorry.
Eminent domain language. That was key to get the previous owner to the table.
Right.
We'd like to use that in the future on other inactive owners here in the city. So that helped out quite a bit.
Great. Great. Well, especially since the tax abatement has been removed from this section, I don't have a ton more questions. Thankfully, this is all loading and is obviously very thorough in terms of what is in it and the different ideas and goals and hopes for the site. And I once the other speakers are up, I'm sure I'll have more questions about how they plan to bring that to life. So thank you for answering my questions today.
Thank you.
And for committee members, I do want to share my computer as we're struggling with internet. I do have the committee sub that I sent to everybody that actually has all the pages if you want to look at the bill.
Thank you. Alderman Browning?
Thank you. Similarly, I'm just trying to look through this right now, but I think there's a lot of property. There's several properties in the city that are like this, where we have long-standing vacant sites, large, difficult to remove buildings, and not producing many taxes for the city. I know there's not a tax abatement in this bill anymore, but could you speak to the taxes that this property is currently paying?
When it was occupied, we kind of did a study. Madeline from our staff went back and tracked the taxes. When it was occupied, it was at the end of this occupation, it was over $800,000 coming to the city. Right now, it's a little over $200,000. So that's $200,000 been repeated for the last several years. So if you multiply that by the Railroad Exchange, AT&T building, we're seeing these vacant buildings that once produced revenue for the city, bringing in fractions of what they are doing now. So that's something when you multiply across the whole city, it's kind of amazing when you start thinking about the numbers.
But the site does currently pay taxes. It's just a fraction of what it could if it was
Correct,
a better use. And that's really to the definition of blight when we talk about investment in a property and its ability to be more for the city than what it currently is.
Yes, economic blight plus conditions of the building currently. Correct.
All right, thank you. That's all the questions I have for now. I appreciate you being here, and thank you to the sponsor for moving this forward.
Alderwoman Keys?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have any questions. Most of my questions were answered by Mr. Wilson in the questions from Alderman Browning. Thank you.
Vice Chair Sanye?
Thank you all for being here before us today. A lot of my questions were more so connected to the abatement, which has been removed from the bill. So I would just say in general, I am happy to see us make moves on the city on large, vacant structures and really utilizing all the tools we have in our tool belt to get current owners to be responsive and be a bit more proactive. So I'm happy to see that, and I look forward to, more conversation, and I'm sure, I would just say, obviously, in regards to St. Alexis, I've had a lot of similar conversations. So I'm glad to see these tools going and us starting to craft legislation to utilize them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, committee members. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. My name is Ryan McClure. I'm the executive. Oh, sorry.
Can I
Oh,
swear you-
I gotta be. I was just jumping right in.
Right, you're good. Thank you, Mr. McClure. You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Please proceed.
All right. Thank you. As I was saying, my name is Ryan McClure. I'm the executive director of Gateway Arch Park Foundation. I'm also a city resident. I live in 6th Ward. I want to just give you a little bit of background on how we got to where we are today and where we are in the process here. So if you're not familiar with our organization, Gateway Arch Park Foundation was formed in 2009 as the philanthropic organization to drive for the renovations of the Arch grounds, so the City Arch River project. So that was a $380 million project that completely transformed the Arch experience for St. Louisans and for folks that visit, the 2.5 million people that visit the Arch every year. It connected the Arch grounds over I-44, expanded the visitor center, created a new museum, and this is a public-private partnership, the largest public-private partnership ever in the history of the National Park Service, one of the largest in St. Louis. And $221 million in private funding was raised through our foundation for that project. So that's how we got our start. We continue to be a philanthropic organization for Gateway Arch National Park and surrounding areas, including Plaza and the riverfront. So we raise money every day to enliven these spaces, continue to evolve them, and activate them for St. Louis. I'm proud to represent 15 folks that are back at our office that work every day because we love St. Louis. We're committed to this city and to this region, and we want to see it thrive. And in that spirit, we started looking around the Arch grounds at areas that needed help. And you need to look no further than the Millennium Hotel right next to the park to see a building that is decaying, is certainly not contributing positively to our city in any way, shape, or form, and as it stands today. So we were inspired by other organizations like ours around the country that are philanthropic organizations, nonprofits that are trying to solve problems next to national parks. And we started conversations with the ownership of this building, which, as you all probably know, was based in Singapore, over 3 years ago. And it took a lot of diligence, a lot of conversations with them that eventually broke down. And this is a great example of public-private partnership. When those conversations with the ownership broke down, the city started the eminent domain process. SLDC started that, and we've been working with Zach and his team for years on this. And that is when the ownership put the building up for sale. So I just want to stress this partnership with the city has been incredibly strong throughout this entire process, which we're really grateful for. So fast forward to September of last year, we went under contract to purchase this building. The redevelopment plan that is in your information today that was passed by the Planning Commission, we put out an RFP after that was passed by the Planning Commission for a developer for the site. Gateway Arch Park Foundation is not a real estate developer. We're never going to be. We knew we needed to go out to the market to get a strong partner that could help develop this site, adhere to the design standards that are in the proposal. It was a competitive RFP process, and Cordish came out on top through that process. I cannot think of a better organization for us to be partnered with on this, based on their success at Ballpark Village, their success across the country, Kansas City Power and Light. There's so many projects which Zed can attest to that have been successful across the country. So we are working on a redevelopment agreement with Cordish. This is going to be a $670 million project that is really going to redefine the St. Louis skyline. 1.3 million square feet of residential, office, commercial, and cultural spaces. This is really going to be a site that St. Louis can use again. It's residential, it's office, it's retail, but it will have public space as well. If you look at that site right now, it is a super block that blocks you from the arch grounds and blocks you from the riverfront. That will be no more. The building is, as Alderman Aldridge mentioned earlier, the building is, it's in really bad shape. In fact, it's under emergency condemnation right now. We are actively remediating the asbestos, the mold, the toxic substances that are in there. We've contracted with Spiritus and environmental operations to do that work. But what's before you today really will allow us to move forward with the demolition of the structures. We can't do that until the blighting study and the redevelopment plan is passed. So that's what we're asking for today. I will stop there. I can answer questions or turn it over to Zed. From Zed, okay.
Thank you. Hi, can you swear me in?
You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Sure. Well, thank you all for having me. My name is Zed Smith. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Cordish Companies. I'm not new to St. Louis. I've been coming here for about 15 years on the original development team for Ballpark Village. So it's always good to be back here. Just to give you some background on our company, for those of you that don't know us, we're based in Baltimore. We're a 110-year-old business, real estate development company. As Ryan alluded to earlier, we've done a number of public-private partnerships for these large-scale developments across the country. So when the opportunity came up to partner with the Arch Foundation on this particular site, we were very much intrigued by it because it does extend and deepen the experience downtown. You know, when we do these large-scale developments, oftentimes you don't have enough real estate to really have an impact. Ballpark Village, for your information, is only 6 blocks. But with this development, we see the opportunity to extend the district and create something that's magical, if I may, for downtown St. Louis. I had an opportunity to tour the Arch grounds and the experience that they have there. And I just thought about how impactful that could be if we were to do this development to extend not only Ballpark Village, but extend the district to the waterfront and really manage that experience well. The Arch grounds is the charm of this city. People recognize it all over the world. I remember 30 years ago when I was in St. Louis, I had one mission when I came here, that was to go to the Arch. Even though I was here on business, the hour that I had before I left, I said, I have to go to the Arch. And I think a lot of people want to experience the Arch that same way. And it does have that kind of magical experience for people that visit the city. So our goal here, in partnership with the Arch Foundation, is to expand that experience. So your stay not only becomes 1 day or a 2-day here in St. Louis, but to make it a 3 or 4 day. People come here for a game. They may stay for 2 days or 3 days, but to have something exciting going on at the Arch grounds, to make it more interactive, to draw more people not only from outside of St. Louis, but even for locals to experience, that's where the magic happens. And I think we can be very instrumental in doing that. It's a big project. As Ryan mentioned, it's $670 million. We've done big projects before. And I think that's one of the reasons that the Arch Foundation selected Cordish. We've done these large-scale developments. We've done more public-privates than any other developer in the country. And our goal is to bring the best of that we've done across the country to St. Louis for this development. So yes, we've got some headwinds here. First thing is to get the building down, and that's why we're here today. But we're looking forward to the next steps, and we believe in this city. This is a major investment for us in this city, and we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't believe in St. Louis. That's the bottom line. I mean, we can invest our money anywhere in the country, but we've planted a flag here. We want to continue with that investment, continue with that growth, because we believe in this city. So I'll take any questions you might have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. That's one of my trigger words when people say they believe, because I believe too.
Yeah.
So especially when people from outside of St. Louis say they believe, you know, that's go time for me. So thank you so much.
Sure.
We'll start with questions from the committee. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you so much. Thank you both for that great overview. One of the things that I saw recently, Mr. McClure, and I loved that you said, was getting rid of the highway that running down. Was something that you were interviewed about, and I'm interested in how you view this project and that idea as either combined or completely separate ideas.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Happy to talk about that. I think, you know, when we think about the I-44 corridor, we were able to do something successful with the Park over the Highway and the City Arch River project and blocking or capping one block over the highway. And that has had a transformational effect on downtown and on the park. You know, when we start thinking about a $670 million development right next to the highway, I think it's fair for us to ask as a city and a region, can we do better? I'm not a traffic engineer, so I don't have the solution for what that is, but I think, you know, when you're going to have this huge development that's going to bring more residents and office workers and people for entertainment right next to the highway, there's some significant work that is going to need to be done to the Poplar Street Bridge in the next 15 to 20 years. That type of work creates opportunities, and we need to be ready for those opportunities to capitalize on those. So all we're saying right now is let's have those conversations about how we can do better on the I-44 corridor when we have an elevated section of highway that goes to grade and then goes to subgrade and then reverse that on that's north to south.
It is one of the biggest issues, I think, with connecting so much of downtown to the riverfront is that highway. And of course, I agree with you that the section that you all had as part, you know, really a flagship part of the project. I feel like that was a huge part of the Gateway Arch River connection, is actually having that walkable, you know, pedestrian connection. When you brought up the idea of doing more, I was just really inspired by that, because I agree. It's something that I think downtown really needs, is more walkability, more pedestrian friendliness. I love the Power and Light District in Kansas City, and am just really impressed by the downtowns and Midwestern cities that have taken that pedestrian prioritization, I guess, further than I think the city of St. Louis has. So I'm really interested in that part. Obviously, the Gateway Arch River project was huge, $380 million, you said, project. This one is significantly more than that. I'm guessing because it's obviously more building of buildings, and that's what the big difference is. But I guess, how equipped do you feel to manage the project almost big?
Sure. So I'll address the demolition and remediation. We can definitely handle that right now as an organization. In fact, we've got Vern here, who is our owner's representative and is helping manage the project that's Spiritus, which we also have here today. They're just doing great work on this already. So I feel confident in our organization's ability to see that portion through, and we have all the financing that's needed for that. But we just need the approval of the board, this committee and the board, to move forward with demolition. And then on the rest of the project, I keep thinking that's a gavel or something. Yeah.
Talking.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the workaround. That's great.
Well, I just want to comment on two things regarding the covering of or eliminating the highway there. So we're working on a big project in Kansas City where we're putting a cap over 6 blocks connecting one section of Kansas City to the Power and Light District, $230 million project, funds raised privately, publicly, federal government's involved. So when we first saw this project, we said, guys, we got to get rid of this highway. So, and by the way, we have experience doing it. So it's a collective effort, takes a lot of work, a lot of time as well, but it can be done. So we agree with you 100%. To the extent that we can make this mountain move, we think we can. It would be very, very accretive to the project over the long term.
And I appreciate the desire to have it be a conversation that happens at the same time as this project, because I agree. I mean, there's been so much desire to bring people to the river, but there's not a lot of ways to get them to the river that make a ton of sense. And you look at areas like Laclede's Landing, which is just such an incredible area of our city that has had so much difficulty because of, highway closures, and then the project, occurred, and just different construction issues that have happened, and needing to continue to bring people to those areas and activate our riverfront. It just seems like such a missed opportunity in the city of St. Louis to not have that much connection to our river. So the more you all are able to see how your project would connect with the rest of downtown and not just a standalone site, I think the more successful it will be, and the more successful downtown will be because of the project. That's all I have for now. I'm really looking forward to seeing this keep moving forward. I think this is a really transformative thing for our city, and I hope it's successful. So thank you.
Sure.
Alderman Browning.
Thank you. If you could come back to me.
Alderwoman Keys.
Thank you. No, I don't have any questions, and thank you for being here and giving such a great verbal visualization of what to expect. Thank you.
I apologize, you all. I keep getting the seniority mixed up, so I'm going to get it right from now on. And then it's off on the sheet, too. So I was like, wait a minute, Alderwoman Keys was first all along. Alderman Brownie.
Thank you. So similarly to Alderwoman Schweitzer, I'm interested in the plans for the highway. I appreciate that this is eliminating the super block that exists there. But the highway is not the only problem. It's Memorial Drive, it's 4th Street. There's just so little walkability in this location. Connecting our city to the thing that made our city, the Mississippi River, and really the reason that any civilization has ever occurred in this area, right? I think that's vital to success. And the update to the Arch Grounds is so amazing that people should be able to access that, and it will be a huge advantage to this development to have that right there. I know, just like people want to live around Forest Park, it would be amazing to live next to a national park. So that's the amazing piece of this development. So I have a couple questions about the demo. So it's a multi-year demo, but when would it start?
So remediation is happening right now. So Spiritus and environmental ops are working on getting all the asbestos and other materials out that would need to happen prior to demo the buildings safely. Essentially, as soon as this legislation is passed through the board and signed into law, we can move forward with demolition. They'll be ready.
And you said Spiritus is the one doing the demo?
Yes.
Were they engaged with this project? When were they engaged with this project? Are they doing the remediation too?
So we did the foundation in anticipation that we would need these services, did an RFP process knowing that we would own the building and the demo and remediation would happen under our watch. We did an RFP process that they won. So that was done several months ago.
Okay, I just asked because the city did an RFP process for tornado cleanup that Spiritus also won, but then ended up quitting. So it's concerning to me, but I at the same time understand that this is a different project and a different scope entirely. So I think it's important to get this building down. As Alderman Aldridge noted, it is a hazard to the area. It's a problem for the city, and we need to make sure that we're getting that removed so that it doesn't end up hurting someone. Also, it brings down the property values around it. So it's urgent that we get this started, and I'm happy to support that.
Yeah.
Swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please proceed.
I just wanted to address the comment about abandoning. It's confusing, but there are two Spiritus.
Excuse me, could you say your name?
Oh, Tony Giordano, I'm sorry. There are two Spiritus companies. So I own Spiritus Wrecking, which is the founding demolition company in St. Louis. We've been around since 1954. Eric Spiritus used to work for this company and was removed from the company in 2003. He owns a company called Spiritus Worldwide. We don't quit projects. I just wanted to address the reputation issue. We're very proud of our people and our team, and I assure you we're not leaving the project.
Well, thank you. I didn't mean, and I certainly didn't know that. That is confusing, and I appreciate your clarification.
Yeah.
And I hope that this is a good project for you all. As I said, this is really important to be doing, and so apologies for the confusion, but I appreciate that you're here in order to make that clarification.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Vice Chair Sanye.
I don't have any questions. Thank you all for being here today and for your work here.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, Alderman Aldridge, did you have any other speakers, or do we go to public comment? Okay. Everyone in the room that's signed up to speak on Board Bill 39 Committee Sub, can you raise your right hand? You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you. You all can come up when your name is called, state your name and ward for the record, and then proceed with your comments.
Our first speaker is Jameson Ramirez.
Good afternoon, members of the committee. Thank you, Chairperson Clark Hubbard. My name is Jameson Ramirez. I am staff with the Service Employees International Union Local 1, and it's my pleasure to offer some comments and actually technically just ask some technical questions, if I may. And there's undeniable excitement and energy about support for this project, support for general revitalization of the downtown core, and we share in that excitement. We represent thousands of workers in this region, hundreds that work in the city proper. And so we all have, we believe, a vested interest in seeing the tremendous potential in this city, in this downtown core, unlocked. And we want to see that happen. We want also, however, to see that downtown potential unlocked with workers in mind. Yes, there are many critical considerations in this complicated process. We just want to ensure and hope that this committee understand and appreciate the necessity of including workers in those considerations. Clearly, putting up a brand new building does its part to revitalize a downtown core, but workers also need to be considered in this process. They too revitalize through their productivity, through the wages that they earn when they come downtown to eat, to enjoy themselves. Those considerations matter as well. I do have just two technical questions to ask. They may not necessarily be addressed directly in this bill, but as far as this project is concerned, we would like a little more information. Local 1 is a party of interest, so to speak. Through the SLDC, we are notified about updates to this project. And in my due diligence, I did notice a slight discrepancy in the number of reported jobs. So in the blight study that was included in this particular board bill, the estimated jobs reported was 50. And that did stand in contrast to a projected estimate in the developer's report submitted to SLDC that was around 1,000 jobs. So the difference between 50 and 1,000 is, I think, stark. And I would just like an explanation either from committee members or those who authored those reports, just explain the difference there. And then finally, and I'll close with this technical question, will this particular project, especially when financial incentives are considered and then ultimately approved, will this project fall under the purview of the living wage ordinance, which to my understanding, when it's a threshold of around 20 million that is provided through the city, that triggers the ordinance, coverage under the ordinance. So that was just my only other question. And with that, I would like to conclude my time. Thank you so much for your attention.
Our next speaker is Kate Thomas.
Hello, my name is Kate Thomas. I am also an employee with the Service Employees International Union, Local 1. I am here to say that if the Board of Aldermen is planning to invest in downtown as the economic engine of the city, it needs to be built on a foundation that benefits everyone. We want to make sure that there's a responsible contractor when considering this project, because it's critical to building and fostering the economy that values and benefits the working people of St. Louis. We want to see the union difference that we've seen in projects that have been supported by the Board of Aldermen before. This board supported responsible contractors at the St. Louis Airport. Lambert Airport has union contractors that was supported by this board, and because of that, we are able to see the union difference in the lives of these workers, and that is what we want to see in the lives of these workers that'll be working on this new development project. We want to make sure that these workers have stability and security, and when it comes on the aldermen to decide on how to invest public dollars into this project, we just want to make sure that we're thinking about what kinds of people are working on these jobs and what kinds of things we want to be, how we want to be using those investments. Thank you.
Our final speaker is Chris Rack.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity to speak before you today. My name is Christian Rack. I am the director for Missouri for SEIU Local 1 and also a vice president with the local. We represent about 45,000 members throughout the Midwest, including about 5,000 in the area. And this really is a wonderful opportunity for St. Louis and has so much potential. You know, I like that Alderman Clark Hubbard talked about believing in belief. And I think we want to believe in the project. We want to believe in its opportunity. And as my predecessors, Kate and Jameson mentioned, we think the workers need to be a key component of this project being successful. I would just urge the board that we know this is no longer on the table today. 90% abatement for 20 years is a pretty darn significant investment in the city in this project. And so we know that it could look different before it comes before the board again for a decision in city participation. You have the right as a municipality to demand labor peace to protect the city's investment. The messiest labor disputes that we see are usually when workers are trying to form a union, which they have a clear legal right to do in this country, regardless of what the situation is and the setup is. When workers choose to exercise that right, where there's no fair process and path to organize, that's where the most contentious labor disputes occur. So we really urge this body to ask the folks that are working on moving this project forward to commit on the front end to labor peace. That protects the investment of the city in this project, and we believe makes it a win for everybody. Thank you.
Okay. This typically isn't how this goes, but because I do know my personal commitment as well as my colleagues' commitment to workers in the city, I have asked if Mr. Wilson could come answer your questions, Jameson, for the record today.
Yes, on the future projects or future incentive package, prevailing wage will be enforced on the construction end, and any type of job promises will be built into the redevelopment agreement and built into the compliance period for the length of the incentive. And at this point, we don't know the complete package. If it crosses that line for, not prevailing wage, the living wage, thank you, living wage, and we'll enforce that also. Oh, the blightings also. PJV did the blighting study. Most blighting studies are very general. That's why the numbers are 50. But when we do a redevelopment agreement, redevelopment plan, and we have a known project, those numbers will be enforced inside the redevelopment agreement that comes afterward. So that's what the difference is. So.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Wilson. Okay, Alderman Aldridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. First, I do also want to thank our labor brothers and sisters for coming today. And as somebody who was in the trenches with SEIU as a fast food worker, I know what it means to make sure that we always put workers first. I am hopeful that there's been ongoing conversations between the union and Cordish and the foundation to start those conversations. This is a big step to when it comes to the millennium. Before we get to the redevelopment part of it, it's just getting the demolition of this building down. I think most of the speakers behind me have already spoke about just the need to start to get rid of an eyesore that continues, as Alderman Browning said, is a super block in our area that is just, I would say, an ugly super block at the moment. And I just am glad that the partnership that has developed between SLDC, the Arch Foundation, Cordish, as well as Spiritus. And Spiritus, I was speaking to the gentleman when I was coming in, singing some music, Sage in the room today with my music, and I would say that Spiritus is ready to go today. They said as soon as this legislation get passed, they are already doing the remediation, but as soon as we pass this, they're ready to already get the cranes in the air and start to get this building down so that we can start and continue the momentum that is much needed in the downtown area and for the city of St. Louis for the growth of our city. So this is an amazing project. When you look at the committee sub, I know in front of us there's a 7-page, but the legislation that I sent to members yesterday has the full rundown of the committee sub. And as Zach Wilson mentioned, there's a lot of details in what the plan looks like. And this is a very exciting plan. when you talk about not just the ability, if you go to Busch Stadium, and be able to now kind of have a clear view of the arch instead of having this hotel there, but also what they plan to bring from an amphitheater to a food court to really, as some of my colleagues said, look to figure out how do we connect the riverfront to the rest of the city. It is a exciting project, a beautiful project, and I'm glad to be part of it, and I appreciate my colleagues for the hard questions and comments that was made today. And with that, Madam Chairwoman, I would just ask for a do pass recommendation on Board Bill 39 committee substitute.
All right, I just do one more round to see any additional questions or comments. Okay, with that, I'll accept the motion that we pass Board Bill 39 committee substitute with a do pass recommendation.
Second.
It was moved by Alderwoman Schweitzer and seconded by Alderwoman Keys. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Schweitzer. Aye. Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Vice Chair Sonier. Aye. Alderman Browning.
Aye.
Alderman Aldridge.
Aye.
Chair Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderman Cone. We have 6 aye votes.
All right, congratulations, everyone. Did we have any resolutions for review? Okay. Madam Clerk, no resolutions for review?
No resolution.
Any committee discussions?
No committee discussions.
Acknowledgements of any written testimony?
No written testimony.
Any announcements? I do want to make a quick announcement that FEMA is still here. Today was supposed to be the last day, but they have granted an additional extension, but the caveat, this extension does not have a close date, so I would encourage you not, if you haven't already filed with FEMA, please still go and file today, because even though the extension has gone on, it's to be announced when they will close, and that could be any day. So please take advantage of that. Also look into Mayor Spencer's executive order she's released yesterday that removes some barriers to repairing and rebuilding in tornado impacted neighborhoods. Different things that are still going on. Please let us know, let your alderperson know, or your neighborhood improvement specialist or someone know how we can still assist you as we all move through this recovery and rebuilding season here in the city of St. Louis. It's been 102 days since the tornado, and there's still people that are literally still in the headspace of May 16th. So we have to be able to be in position to move people forward. And thank you to all of my colleagues and everyone that's been lending hands in so many different ways. I know that we don't take it for granted, and the city doesn't take it for granted, and now we just move forward better together. With that, I'll excuse Alderman Cone for necessary absence. Again, he did try to hang in there and get on, but we had the technical difficulties earlier, and so we excuse him. I'll accept the motion.
Second.
It's moved by Vice Chair Sanye and seconded Alderman Aldridge with a call for previous roll with no objection. He is excused. With that, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Second.
It was moved by Vice Chair Sanye and seconded by Alderman Aldridge with a call for previous roll with no objection. We are adjourned. Everyone have a blessed day.